I've had both the privilege and the burden of dealing with this issue for a very long time. Because a long time ago, I came to a very stark realization that these were really babies. And if I believe that we are all created equal, if I believe that every child was a child of God, if I believe that every child was important, then it became important to me to try to do what was possible to live out that ideal of the Founding Fathers. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that we're all created equal and that every person would have a chance to live. And I don't know how this debate has developed the way it has, where Americans seem to be so at each other, because we've been here before. A lot of times my friends on the left, they attack us for using the example of Dred Scott. The reason that it is used so often is because it is so profoundly parallel. The Supreme Court comes along and says the African-American slave is not a person. And there were those who believed that wasn't true. There were those that believed that this was a human being worthy of protection. And they stood up and did everything that they could to do that, to change that. And finally, we changed. And now we look back, and there's not too many people that would argue that case anymore. They see the personhood. And sometimes when you finally see the humanity of the victim and the inhumanity of what is being done to them, somehow it begins to dawn on you. And I pray that somehow, when we're talking about born alive children, that a light goes on. That we realize, all right, if we're not going to protect born alive babies, then we have allowed ourselves to be dragged into that Sumerian night where the light of human compassion has gone out and the survival of the fittest has prevailed over humanity. And I pray that day has not come in America. And I heard a testimony today that gave me great hope, because Miss Jessen, you are living proof that when babies survive abortion, they go on to bring a loving, noble message to humanity. And I know you've said some things to our committee here, but I would just ask if you have anything else that you would like to tell America regarding the protection of babies born alive that have survived abortion.
Thank you, Congressman. I would like to thank you for being such a man of great courage. And I've been listening in the hearing today, after speaking, after explaining that I lived through an abortion. Often when I'm in the midst of abortion advocates, they never can answer this one question, and it is this: if abortion was merely about is merely about women's rights, then what were mine? And I've been listening to the great round of applause for the ending the lives of these children, but these very same people behind me applauding, I would like to tell you that if need be, I would lay my life down for you. Because no greater love has a man than to lay down his life for his friend. And so as I listen to you applaud for death, I want to tell you how valuable you are. And to America, I would say this: wake up. And, we are so worried about every single other issue under the sun. And we don't talk about this one. We're embarrassed by the social issues. We're embarrassed by the people that love God. And we are embarrassed by defending the most vulnerable among us. And we wonder why we have people killing each other. We have got our priorities wrong. We have abandoned God. We are embarrassed by him. And we will not remain free without him. So I would call on my nation to repent. What a word. We don't say that anymore. But I would call on my nation that God would wake us up. And yeah, that's what I would say. I don't feel it was quite articulate, but there you are.
Your message is heard in the context of your life, my lady.